Hello everybody, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and if you've been paying attention, last week LEGO announced that we have basically 7 days to vote for the next LEGO Star Wars UCS set, and everyone has gone and chosen sides. I'm personally part of the Gunship Gang. I think we have some Nebulon Nerd representative
What's
in the house.
up?
Can we get, it's DTinaglia Studios? No way.
That's me.
That's me. And we also have a Bomber Bro?
Why you got to do me like that? Hello, comrades. How you doing? AceofBricks. You probably never heard of me, but here I am.
He was the only Bomber Bro we could find.
Me and my two fellow supporters.
That says a lot,
Yes.
yeah.
Anyway, we have put together some presentations for you guys, so we're going to go through our arguments as to why we think our respective UCS sets should be made, and we're going to start out with the Nebulon Nerd DTinaglia. Dan, take it away.
What's up, guys? It's DTinaglia Studios here. And before I get into the Nebulon presentation, I've got something to say about Ginship Gang. All right, here we go. Every good reason to vote for the UCS Republic Gunship. I've got all of them listed in this one presentation. All right, here we go. Thank you very much for listening. The case for the Nebulon B and why to reject the gunship. A presentation by DTinaglia DDS.
Do you really have a DDS?
I do. Here is the thesis statement for my presentation. Here's my thesis statement. So the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate was featured in the 1980 film The Empire Strikes Back and is certainly the most deserving of a LEGO Star Wars UCS Ultimate Collector's Series model because of these reasons. Release climate of the debut film, scale and magnitude of vessel in universe, past releases of said vessel, notability, undeserving nature of the low-altitude assault transport LAAT Republic Gunship, conditions of past UCS models, and for these reasons, the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate deserves your vote for the next UCS model.
Any particular reason why there's no TIE bomber slander in there?
Yeah, because there is none.
To be completely honest, I don't think... All right, here we go. The Empire Strikes Back 1980. That is the year it was released. If you look at your calendar, the current year is 2020. Using my mathematics that I have properly put on the slide right here, the difference between those 2 years is in fact 40 years. The year of our Lord 2020 is the 40th anniversary of the release of Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which is also the debut film of the E-76 Nebulon B medical frigate.
EF-76.
EF.
Go on.
Pardon
Go on,
me.
Doc.
Get it right.
Go on,
The release
doctor.
of an EF-76 Nebulon B medical set would coincide rather nicely with this occasion. Next slide.
Teacher, I have a question.
What is the question?
What about the TIE bomber? It debuted in The Empire Strikes Back.
It did. I will get to that later.
Oh, that's ominous.
All right, here we go. Next slide. The EF-76. The F-76 is 300 meters long and 166 meters tall.
That's a lot of numbers.
It costs 8.5 million credits within the Star Wars universe. It has a Class 2 hyperdrive. It has a crew of 854 for maximum capacity, and it has a cargo of 6,000 metric tons. If you compare this image right here, featured right here, a ship of this magnitude is well deserving of a UCS model. Compared to the Millennium Falcon right here and the Tanta V4 right here, which have both had multiple UCS renditions, this vessel, the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate, is much larger and much more important to the Rebel Alliance right here. It was very, very important for the Rebel fleet, and as of right now, the only ship from the Rebel fleet that we do have is the Tanta V, and we know that is just a very, very specific vessel in a fleet that is much larger and has many more EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigates. Next slide. So this slide, I concocted a little bit of a chart that shows how many sets have been produced for each vehicle, which is an option in this voting. So for the low-altitude assault transport LAAT Republic Gunship, there have been quite a few sets produced. We have the 4490 Republic Gunship 2003, the 7163 Republic Gunship 02, the 7676 Republic Attack Gunship in 2008, which was the Clone Wars vehicle, the 20010 Republic Gunship from 2009, the 75021 Republic Gunship from 2013, and the 75076 Republic Gunship Microfighter from 2015. Those are all written in the same vehicle. What's your objection, Ryan?
The 20010 Republic Gunship 2009 was never released at retail.
It was never released at retail?
Do your research.
Never released at retail? Okay.
Never released. At retail.
You know what that means, though?
No.
That means there are still 5 renditions of that set remaining, which later in the presentation you'll realize is quite a few. For the TIE SA Bomber...
Do you have photos of these to prove they exist?
Brickset.com. That is my reference.
Okay.
For the TIE SA Bomber, there have been 2 renditions of this set. 4479, the TIE Bomber from 2003, which is the only full-scale rendition of this. And this 75008, the TIE Bomber and Asteroid Field Planet series set from 2013. This one, I was on the fence about even including, because I don't think it really even counts.
So you've conveniently left out the mini TIE Bomber that you were able to create from the early 2000s mini sets?
Ryan, let the doctor speak.
I don't think that was released at retail.
It was released in retail sets. What are you talking about? It was a TIE Bomber you could get from buying retail sets.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's a combination.
I'm showing
model.
that you have an inability to
as a certified Bionicle fan, combination models do not count.
Certified by who? LJ Johnson?
Yes. Bionicle proves that combination models do not count as actual sets.
Okay.
And then if you look down here, third row, EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate, there haven't been any sets produced based on this. That is just a glaring example of one of the reasons that the EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate deserves to have the next UCS model. This would be the first model that we have for this vehicle within LEGO, and I think it deserves nothing less of the UCS moniker. Next
now, how
slide.
Would you feel about a Advent Calendar mini inclusion?
An Advent Calendar mini inclusion.
As kind of like a
runner-up
prize.
I definitely heard you, while we were preparing these slides, say that that would not count as a set, so that wouldn't fit on this chart. So next slide. The final shot. The final shot is a cherished and unique image from each Star Wars film, and the final shot of what is often considered the best Star Wars film, The Empire Strikes Back, Kirshner 1980, is the EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate, along with some GR-75 Mon-Calamari transport. I think this is very important, incredibly iconic. It's the final shot of the film, what people consider the best Star Wars film, and it is this vehicle. This is an incredibly iconic vehicle. People complaining that no one knows who the Nebulon B is, literally just watch Empire Strikes Back, the incredible ending sequence of Lando and Chewie flying off in the Millennium Falcon, and then Luke getting his robot hand, all happens on board the EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate. And I think that is definitely a case for the iconicness of this film. And also, an EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate set would be another addition to the Empire Strikes Back collection, as opposed to another set based on the Battle of Hoth from 3ABY. I think the Battle of Hoth has been overrepresented in terms of Empire Strikes Back sets, and we definitely need some more Empire Strikes Back sets that are not based on the Battle of Hoth. Next slide. The undeserving nature of the low-altitude transport LAAT Republic Gunship. So the frequency within the Star Wars line, there's been 6 variations of the set, 3 if you don't count small versions, or apparently sets that weren't released at retail. And also, the scaling issues. So one interesting thing about this vehicle is that it is a pretty correct size within the sets that it's been released in already. The minifigs are pretty much up to scale to what you'd see in the film. And I think that is what lots of people request when they want a UCS version of this. They're like, we can finally get a minifigure scale LAAT, Low Altitude Assault Transport Republic Gunship. And I'm like, no, we've already gotten 3 of those in the normal minifigure scale versions. Minifigure scale being the closest approximation for these sets. Next slide. The conditions of past UCS models. So all the past UCS models had unique scaling. They're not in scale with each other. If you put that UCS Death Star next to the UCS Millennium Falcon, those are definitely not in scale with each other. So people asking for specific scales, there's no guarantee on what we're going to get there. And also, lots of people are requesting an exclusive minifigure, or some, like a lot I saw in Instagram comments earlier today on one of my posts, people requesting an Episode 3 Commander Cody figure. And while I agree that that would be an excellent addition to the LEGO Star Wars minifigure collection, I think that is a very, very, very rare thing to get in a UCS set. For vehicle-based sets, aside from a few outliers, being the Super Star Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon, and the new Star Destroyer, We haven't gotten many exclusive figures in these UCS vehicle-based sets. And seeing by the new Star Destroyer, which was known for having very disappointing minifigure selections, we didn't get very good figures. So expecting great figures from a UCS set is expecting a bit much at this point in the year of our Lord, 2020. And also, one of the most important aspects of this is the poor sales of prequel-based UCS models in the past. This is a fact. The UCS Obi-Wan's Starfighter sold very poorly, and that is the only modern UCS prequel model that we have.
Could you cite your source on the poor sales of the UCS Obi-Wan Starfighter?
There will be a link to my sources in the description below. Thank you very much. Next slide. The potential minifigures of this set. So we could have a potential updated Mon Mothma, because the last time we got a Mon Mothma, LEGO wasn't doing very realistic facial printing. You can see that facial printing does not look very well. Does not look good.
Right.
It does not look good. That is a figure deserving of an update. And as the leader of the Rebel Alliance on a large Rebel Alliance medical frigate, I think Mon Mothma definitely deserves to be in this set. We could also get Luke and Leia and the droids to recreate that final galaxy window view that we see at the end of The Empire Strikes Back. And also possibly an inclusion of Lando and Han's clothing, maybe a specific print for that.
Wait, Lando stole Han's clothing?
He does, if you look very closely. When he's sitting in the Falcon, docked up to the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate at the end of Empire Strikes Back, directed by Irvin Kershner, released in 1980.
Jesus Christ.
You can see that Lando is wearing Han Solo's shirt and vest in that.
That's kind of sus, not going to lie.
It is kind of sus. I agree with you there. But then also, for the potential features of this set, as I stated before, the Millennium Falcon was docked up to the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate at the end of Empire Strikes Back. I think a micro-scale Millennium Falcon in scale with this would be really nice to dock up.
Objection. We have had multiple micro-scale Millennium Mags and Advent calendars, so that is not...
Motion denied.
That is true, but we don't know if any of those are certifiably in scale with the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate, and the one included in this set would have to be to dock up with it. Also, a potential Galaxy Window View minifigure stand. One of the most iconic shots at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, 1980, Irvin Kershner, was Luke and Leia and C-3PO and R2-D2 looking out at the Falcon flying away into the galaxy. And they're looking out of this huge window, and I think it would be an amazing opportunity for LEGO to release a little bit of a minifigure stand to recreate this shot with your figures that are included in the set, which would be very nice. And also, looking at the figures included in the set, they don't have too many exclusive pieces, so it's not that big of a deal to ask that. Next slide. The case for the low-altitude transport LAAT Republic Gunship.
He's doing my job for me.
I am doing your job for you. So, I will acknowledge this ship is iconic and beloved by many fans. And I agree, it may deserve a UCS model sometime in the future. That future specifically being the year 2022, which would be the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, Lucas 2002. The vessel's debut film. The current year, however, 2020, is when LEGO should produce an Ultimate Collector Series UCS model based on the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate as it debuted in Empire Strikes Back, which was released 40 years ago this year. Releasing the gunship this year would be the waste of a slot that could be in 2022, which would have greater meaning. Next slide. Thank you for your consideration. This has been the case for the EF-76 Nebulon B medical frigate. Thank you for watching.
You're not going to clap, Ace?
Wow. That is...
Welcome to my Thai Talk by the DTinaglia Studios. Wake up!
Sorry. I was just fell asleep.
Get out of my classroom if you're going to sleep.
All right. Next slide, please.
Wait. Oh, already? Okay.
Point to the next UCS set, gentlemen.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
As you can see, we have Carson Wentz, Mitchell Trubisky, and Tom Brady all pointing to the TIE bomber.
Objection. I doubt most LEGO fans will know who these people are.
Objection. Tom Brady is like Jesus.
Ryan mentions him in almost every video. Okay, moving forward. As you can see,
my fans
pointing
are well
to the top. They're pointing to the TIE bomber, and they are not pointing to the gunship, nor the Nebulon B medical frigate.
What is the number of the Nebulon B? Just making sure you know your stuff.
76.
What 76?
I ain't no nerd. Okay, next slide. We have not had one in a very long ass time. Since 2003, as I checked.
I agree there.
That has been 17 years since we have received a TIE bomber ship back in 2013, making it a much more recent release, rendering it invalid for a remake. 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. Now, as my adversary here mentioned in his most recent presentation, the Empire Strikes Back came out 40 years ago. And as we all know, the TIE bomber was released in Empire Strikes Back.
I agree with you there.
It fits with the rest of the UCS line. The Republic Gunship is a prequel set. And as we have come to know through the last hour of prepping for this, there are barely any prequel UCS sets. Meaning that it will not look good.
The two ones that do appear that are vehicle-based sets are, in fact, also from Attack of the Clones. So I would make the argument that the gunship actually does fit in with the rest of the prequel UCS sets.
And that is your opinion?
The Naboo Starfighter is not from Attack of the Clones.
The one is released in 2002 is based on the opening scene of Attack of the Clones because the background is Coruscant. I only ever see those.
Oh my god, I never made that connection.
Thank you very much.
Something new every day.
That is an episode 2 set.
The next point,
yes,
it looks sexy. Have you guys seen the TIE bomber, let alone that picture that I have to the right there? It is a sexy, sexy ship. It's got the wings and it's got the 2 barrels. And you know what else?
UCS TIE bomber
you know what else?
Like that?
I didn't ask for your questions. And you know what else has 2 barrels and is sexy?
What?
That's right, binoculars. Meaning that
it does look like binoculars.
Next point, it would likely be the cheapest of the 3, meaning that most people will be able to afford it. And going off the heels of that, you can see it would probably warm the shelves the longest out of the 3. So you'll have plenty of time to save up and purchase this set.
Okay, can't argue that would warm the shelves.
See? I'm proving y'all wrong. Next slide, please. Potential minifigs for the TIE bomber. We have a male TIE fighter pilot, a female TIE fighter pilot, and Star Killer.
Why didn't you do a baby TIE fighter pilot?
Honestly, I can realistically see there being 2 separate TIE bombers because one has to fly it, one has to drop the bombs. One is a bombardier.
See? Now, and you're probably wondering, why is Star Killer here? Well, I haven't played The Force Unleashed in a very, very long time, but there are tons of Imperial ships in those games, so why not have the bomber? Meaning, why not have Star Killer? Why? We do not need no damn gunship. The first point, we have had multiple before. Now, I'm not going to go on and on about where we've had these because, as we saw in my adversary's recent presentation, there have been 6. The next point is that it would not be minifig scale. And this is a problem for a lot of people because due to a non-minifig scale gunship where you will not be able to use it in mocks, kids will not be able to use it to play. And quite frankly, those are the main functions of LEGO. I cannot think of anything else.
Objection. The TIE bomber UCS would also not scale.
Right, but it would probably have a bomb dropping feature, which is good enough. The majority of UCS buyers are likely going to be adults. And as we know, the adults love, and I mean love, to hate on the prequels. Rendering this set, the gunship, useless. It was in Attack of the Clones. I don't even think I need to go on there. And the last point, it is too big. Now, Ryan, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you honestly have room for the Republic Gunship?
Do I have room for anything? No.
Yeah.
I make room for it.
Objection. I think Ryan would make room for it.
Yes. And he says that as another shelf collapses in his garage. Next slide, please.
That hits home hard. No!
Oh my god.
The person advocating for the gunship
you did not.
is a fan of that guy.
That
Next slide, please.
Incriminating.
Why we need no Nebulon B Frigate. Here, as you can see, is a picture of the stadium full of people who wanted a UCS Nebulon B medical frigate before the poll was released.
You can
Next
see
slide,
me
please.
standing far back there. Because I have evidence. I did tweet many
Moving on
months
to the
ago.
next. Moving on. Yeah, you can see a little guy right there. Now, moving on to the next slide. Here is a stadium full of people who wanted a UCS Nebulon B after the polls were released. Now, let me ask you this, audience. Do you really want to be a bandwagon for a set that you had no interest in before these polls were released?
Objection, objection, objection.
Yes. Yes.
Calling out people for preferring the option of a poll before and after the poll was released is an invalid argument.
Actually, it is completely valid because, quite frankly...
Certified invalid. Moving on.
Thank you very much.
Get to you later. Next slide.
Oh, there's more.
It's weak! It's weak! You're going to pick that thing up from either the front or the back, and it's going to snap like a twig.
Got him.
Okay? It'll probably honestly collapse when it collects dust, because the only thing the Nebulon B is going to do is collect dust, because it's a UCS set. So, that is the other point as to why the Nebulon B medical frigate is completely invalid.
I
Next
think
slide.
the fact that it's weak is actually a benefit for the build, because I think it would be incredibly intriguing to see how they would accomplish.
If you go to the next slide and ignore Dan's rambling, I really had no argument for this slide. I just wanted to put this in this presentation. So,
Can't
there's
argue
a
with
TIE
that.
bomber in Minecraft, and there's a pig. Finn.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Oh, Finn.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And
Objection.
Wait, I'm not clapping
Objection.
for you.
That is a dorsal fin.
I'll be answering
Yes,
questions all night, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this presentation is brought to you by Gunship Gang. Gunship Gang, join or die. This presentation is to bring awareness to the Republic Gunship UCS set that shall be released within 1 calendar year of this date hereforth. I want you to join Gunship Gang. You can see our propaganda off to the right there. That is something that neither Nebulon Nerds or the Bomber Bros brought to the table. So we'll just go to the next slide now. Our mission statement here at Gunship Gang is to bring peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Next slide. Notable appearances of the Republic Gunship within film and popular media. We have 2002's Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, a very poppin' movie if I do say so myself. It's
I would agree
not
with you
the
there.
worst. We have 2003's Clone Wars TV show, notably appearing in a very, very sexy paint job. We have 2004's Star Wars Battlefront 1, the best Star Wars video game ever made, perhaps.
May I agree with you there.
2005's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And finally, running from 2008 to 2020, we have the Clone Wars TV show.
We didn't even have the common decency to put 2020 on there.
I didn't think about it until right now when I was reading.
Wow, this is your advocate, guys, for the Gunship Gang. Don't worry, we're still welcoming people to the Bomber Bros.
Of note, this is more relevant media than the TIE Bomber and Nebulon combined.
Are you calling those films more relevant media than The Empire Strikes Back
Yes.
and The Rise of Skywalker and...
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
actually, also, you did not clarify which Nebulon... And the Nebulon C medical frigate appears in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi as well. So...
Episode 8, the last... Oh, yeah, never mind.
I only see 2 movies up there, and you just said Nebulon, and Nebulon appears in how many different
Dude,
Star
Nebulon
Wars
wasn't
movies?
going to fit. Look, the
4.
text was going to go off under my picture, okay?
That's why you press enter, and it goes to the next line.
No, I wanted this to be one line. It looked cleaner now.
Then make the font
Anyway,
size smaller.
off to the right, you'll see more propaganda art. Jedi Bob is watching.
Hey, what's that black bar behind Jedi Bob's head?
That was just part of the original
Are
image.
you
I guess
getting,
it didn't
you're
get
getting
covered.
lazy with this? It shows how much shows how much the Gunship Gang really cares.
Next slide. Why would you vote for the Republic Gunship if it's already winning? Well, may you remember the 28-3 game of the Atlanta Falcons versus New England Patriots.
Oh, here we go.
New England Patriots were all but lost, right? We don't want Nebulon Gang, or the Nebulon Nerds, to rise up and make an epic comeback on the Republic Gunship. We have to crush them. Beat them while they're down. According to my primary survey, with about 1,538 votes, 842 of which were cast for the Republic Gunship. Wouldn't you rather be part of the larger group? If the world ended tomorrow and we were split into 3 groups, Gunship Gang, Nebulon Nerds, and Bomber Bros, if you weren't part of the Gunship Gang, you would be dead.
That's mob mentality for you.
Okay.
That sounds like bandwagoning, which the previous presentation advocated against.
But mine does not.
Alrighty then.
Of note. 34% of votes, 529, were vote for the Nebulon B Frigate, and 11% of votes were cast for the TIE Bomber. Of note, 159 potential votes would have been for a 501st Battle Pack, which was mentioned almost as much as the TIE Bomber in something that had nothing to do with a 501st Battle Pack. Goes to show you how little people think of the TIE Bomber.
Question, Your Honor? Question?
Yes. Question.
As we have seen throughout the past decade of LEGO Star Wars, to its fans, so none of this shit really matters.
LEGO does not listen to their fans. You are
also,
correct.
Ryan, you are the biggest advocate for the 501st Battle Pack, and some may say that is the sole reason that it is being made. So I think you're advocating.
Some may say. Not me.
All right.
Next slide. Minifigures.
so intense!
Minifigures. This is what matters to a lot of people. People were very upset with the Imperial Star Destroyer and LEGO. It's okay. I have a solution for you. Phase 2 Cody. Highly desirable. Never made before, and the perfect exclusive minifigure. People want to spend a lot of money and get something that they feel like is worth that money because they can't get it in something cheaper. Phase 2 Cody is the perfect figure. Jedi Bob, of course, great original figure from the original Gunship in 2002. Absolutely legendary. A meme, some may say in the LEGO Star Wars community, but a serious meme at that. And we may never see him in another set again otherwise. If we don't vote for the Republic Gunship for this UCS set, then we may never see Jedi Bob in another set again. There is no other set Jedi Bob could possibly be released in other than this UCS Republic Gunship behind the support of you, the viewer.
In Ocean Arena.
Next up, a Padme minifigure because she is hot. A Padme minifigure because she is hot. And a 501st Trooper because, well, there isn't a battle pack yet. So
objection. Why would you put Cody with the 501st Troopers?
Another objection. Why would you choose to put the 501st Trooper in a set that would most likely be over $50? Thus, lessening the availability of this figure that you claim to want to be available.
Because you have advocated against for almost a year.
Currently, the 501st Trooper is in no LEGO sets. So one LEGO set may be better than
Z95 Headhunter, 501st AT-AP.
He is currently not available at retail in any LEGO set. If he was in this set, that would be greater than 0.
In current LEGO sets that are on the shelves right now?
Yes.
Okay. You should have stated that earlier when you made your claim, but I'll let it slide.
Timeline. Life is too short not to vote for the Republic Gunship. That's all I'm saying. In 2010, we saw Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, the last prequel UCS set ever released. In reference to 2010, that was around when Minecraft first became popular. Don't you feel old now? 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 passed by without a whisper of a prequel UCS sets. All original trilogy, left and right. 2016 came along with 2 of what I believe are the worst, quote, UCS sets ever released.
Well, 2016 was an ass year, so.
An absolute abomination in Hoth, and the re-release of the 2008 Death Star set. Fans did not like this.
Objection. You have failed to mention all of the good original trilogy UCS sets that have been released. Where's the Slave One?
Where is the Shuttle Tidarium? With claim to love.
Where is the Sandcrawler?
If you love something,
where's the B-Wing?
2020 could be the year. As you can see, 2010 Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter is really far away on my page from the Republic Gunship.
Ryan, I seem to notice that you left a year off of there. You actually missed a year.
Did I skip a year?
Yes, you skipped 2022, which would be the ideal year to release this set.
Oh,
as it would be the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones.
You had us in the first half, Dan, not gonna lie.
You did have us. You had me scared. I'm like, what number did I miss? I thought I went in order.
Yeah, you missed 2022, which would be the ideal year to release this set, as it would be the 20th anniversary of the 2000.
But it's also the 10th anniversary of the last prequel UCS set.
Which means nearly nothing.
100% asterisk. That's the percentage of UCS sets from original trilogy released since 2010. That is a number bigger than I am willing to let happen.
Since 2010 does not include 2010, correct?
It does say since.
Since. Okay, so that is the past 9 years, which is quite a rather odd figure to measure in, but I'll let it slide.
100%.
Okay.
100.
Actually, the argument could be made that the Tantive appears 3, so...
Next slide. The solution. Vote for the Republic Gunship. Prequel era UCS sets will reign supreme once more. Next slide. How it works. Step 1. Go to the LEGO Ideas website and vote for Ginship Gang. Step 2. Wait patiently. Step 3. Buy the Republic Gunship to show your support for prequel UCS sets.
Choke.
Next slide.
Choke.
Past sets. The Republic Gunship. Next slide. Past sets. Contrary to what Dan will have you believe, there have only been 3 true Republic Gunship sets released in 2002, 2008, and 2013.
Objection. The title of the set released in 2008 is the Republic Attack Gunship.
Okay.
Proceed.
Next slide. These are images of those Republic gunships. Exactly.
Objection. That is a preliminary image of
the hell is that thing in the middle?
Does it say preliminary?
I mean, the figures aren't on there.
It says Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want to say that's Anakin Skywalker, but that does not look like Anakin Skywalker in the middle.
It's because it's a preliminary image.
You know what? I didn't ask for your opinion, Dan.
Look, they didn't even finish one of the Republic gunships. Case in point.
I don't think that's how it works. All right.
Exactly 0 of these were Ultimate Collector Series. We could see that number bump to 1 within 1 calendar year if you were to vote for the Republic Gunship. All I'm saying. Next slide. Conclusion. That's you and me watching this very video, can do it. We can shut down the tyranny that is original trilogy UCS sets. 10 years is 10 years too many. Prequel UCS set, Republic Gunship for UCS set 2020.
I have to say I thoroughly disagree, but you do you.
Only a Nebulon nerd deals in absolutes.
Okay.
Bomber Bros!
That is the end of our presentations. If you guys would like to vote for which presentation you liked more, and therefore which set you would be voting for on LEGO Ideas, you can vote on the card on the top right of your screen right now. You can vote for me, the Republic Gunship.
You can vote for me with the EF-76 Nebulon B Medical Frigate.
And you can vote for me if you want to be.
No one's going to vote for you.
Hey, I didn't ask for your opinion. You can vote for me if you want to be a Bomber Bro.
Did you do thunder? Did you just do thunder?
That was an explosion.
That sounded like a bomb blowing up.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Oh, I get it now.
Yes, bomb.
All right, guys, I hope you really did enjoy this video. We had a lot of fun putting it together, so please check out Dan and Ace's channels linked down below. Do you guys have any final words to put in for your items? Or,
Bomber Bro!